One other characteristic about this bird, as we will come to in a minute, is that I think also there was, let me just check the name who asked that. I don't see the name, but somebody in the list asked also if the wings of this bird actually extend behind the tail of the bird when it is perched. It has a very short tail, so yes, indeed, if it is perched on a stick like it is here, the wings actually go behind the tail because it's a very short-tailed bird. Again, if you look at the scientific name, it's called ecaudatus, which means without a tail. So actually that characteristic of the bird comes back in its name again. If we go to the next picture, you'll see it's the same bird, it's the same species, but there's something different. I'll go back to the previous picture, just see if you can figure out what is different between those two birds. So this is the one bird, and this is the other. Now if you look closely, look at the bottom part of the wings. I'll go back once more. You'll see on this one, which is actually a female bateleur, there's this very small, narrow black band on the bottom of the wings. Then you have a big white band. If you go to the next one, which is a male bateleur, you see the whole wing actually is quite black. And that is a really clear characteristic. Even in flight, you can clearly distinguish the birds that way. If you have a bateleur flying, you see this is a female bateleur, it just has the narrow black band at the edge of the wings. If it would be a male bateleur, the pattern would look something like this. So a much broader black band. So this is a bird that's very easy to sex, even if it is flying up a narrow band. It's a female bird. If it's a white black band, then it's a male bird. Also, what you can see on this picture, although I had to enlarge it quite a bit, is that it has very bright red feet, and the tail, as you can see, actually really it's very short. That's a characteristic of that bird. That also makes it able for the bird to turn quite quickly in the air. Yeah, so oops, that was a bit too far already. So actually what I wanted to do with this show, I must actually see how far I am at time. It looks okay, almost half an hour, so time goes fast actually. So just point out a couple of characteristics of birds, what you can look for. Like for instance for this bird now, if you see it up in the sky, there's a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to see, but just if you know the little pattern and the little characteristics of the bird, you can easily say it's a bateleur. In the next shows we'll go into a couple of more birds in more detail. Also point out very specific ways of identifying them. So that actually concludes what I wanted to speak about in this episode of What's That Bird. And as I announced, I would like to end it actually with a little challenge to the viewers. And I've selected 3 birds that I didn't discuss now, but that are often seen at the waterhole or seen or heard on the game drives. And I'm going to post those as well in the forum, so you can have another look at them. But see if you can identify which birds these are. This is the first one, and obviously I'm not going to name the species. I will give you one pointer though, because it's a bird that actually we don't see very much, but we do hear it quite a lot. And I think actually yesterday even Texan spoke about it a little bit with regard to the dry and the wet weather coming hopefully. And that's why one of these birds, one of the names of this bird, nicknames is called a rain bird. So just as a little pointer, but let's see if you can figure it out. The second one I think should be a bit easier, especially for those that regularly watch the waterhole. A couple of weeks ago there was almost a daily visitor there. I've just shown you the head, but it should still be recognizable enough to find out what it is. And the third bird is another bird that's featured a couple of times in our game drives. I think Marco spent some time with it on his last game drive, and even this morning Rexon spent quite some time even lying on the ground next to the birds with those ones. Very fierce defenders of their nests and their young. So see if you can tell me what those birds are, and please also let us know what you thought about this episode. as I said, from my side, I must admit I was quite a bit nervous and trying to figure out where the camera is, but I'm sure that will also I get more used to that over time. But please let us let us know what you think, what you liked about the show, what you think we could do better, what we could improve on, maybe topics you would like to see on the show. Let's make this all interactive, and let's see where we can go with WELearn. Next show, finally, before I sign off, WELearn will be back this Friday, September the 12th at 2 o'clock again. We'll announce the topic for the show sometime later today or tomorrow on the forum. So I hope to see you all again then for the second episode. And so in the meantime, WELearn. Don't sweat the small stuff, but love it. We do. So with that, I'm gonna hand you all back over to the capable hands of Sipiwe, and she will show you if there's anything at the waterhole at the moment. For me, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all again back on Friday. Goodbye.